Hi, welcome to the July edition of Pulse of the Parish. I'm Crystal Beecham. It is a special and bittersweet edition of Pulse of the Parish this month because July marks the retirement of current Parish Administrator Dr. Woodrow Wilson. We'll be sitting down with Dr. Wilson today to talk about his career at the Parish of Caddo and the legacy that he leaves behind. Okay. Well, Dr. Wilson, thank you for sitting down with us today. You know, we've done a lot of interviews together since I've been at the parish, so it's a little bittersweet that this might be my last interview with you, but I'm so excited that you decided to sit down with us and just to kind of talk to us a little bit about your career and about your time here at the Parish of Caddo. So thank you so much for being with us today. I think the first thing I want to ask you really, tell us a little bit about your history in public service and about your career over the lifetime of your career.
Okay, well, my public service started at the age of 17 when I enlisted in the United States Air Force right out of high school. Actually, I was still in high school when I enlisted. Under the lay enlistment program, they allow you to enlist early. And then when you graduate, you already know where you're going, for basic training at least. So that's what I did. And my father was a military person as well. He served in the Navy, and I had a lot of uncles and relatives served in the Marine Corps and Army. And then besides that, the city I lived in was a military town, and the fact that we had a Charleston Naval Shipyard, as well as Air Force Base and a submarine base as well. So I kind of gravitate towards that area and starting my military service, in which I served for 25 years in the Air Force at the national level. And that's what really started my now service life. And I really enjoy what I was doing, because I was part of a really elite team of people that was very structured and orientated on achieving excellence.
Excellent. And so you went through your very accomplished, very star-studded military career, and you ended up in government service. How did you make, I mean, the military is the government, but how did you make that shift from your military career to becoming a public service in, I guess, state and local government?
Oh, okay. Well, I had a slight break when I got out of the Air Force. I went to work in private industry for a while as a district technical manager for Sears Product Services Division. And what I was doing there, I had like 5 different locations I was responsible for the HVAC business, and I was traveling a lot. And I was saying, you know what, this reminds me of being in the military. And I said, so I had a call one day from the superintendent of schools, Dr. Schiller, and he heard about my experience in the maintenance area, and he wanted me to come to be the director of maintenance for the Caddo Parish School Board, and I accepted that job. And so that's what really got me back into public service, serving in the Caddo Parish School Board and on their maintenance department. And then one day I got a call from Mr. Hannah, my predecessor, wanted me to come back to the parish to work as a facilities director, and it was a natural fit for me because the structures is the same. And I had one of the former commissioners told me one time that I wasn't political enough, and I said, well, the only difference between the military and working in a civilian organization such as a government organization is we don't wear uniforms, but the philosophy and the structure is the same.
So you made that transition. You ended up here at the Parish of Caddo. Did you ever envision yourself as the parish administrator?
No, no, not really. Well, actually, when I was offered to come back to the parish to be the director of maintenance, I actually turned the job down. And because I had my sights set on going up to be the support superintendent of the school system to replace my boss. And so after I had said no, about 6 weeks later, Mr. Hannah had sent Mr. Rennie Lucky to come to talk to me again about perhaps reconsidering. And I said, well, the only thing I haven't done yet is pray about it. So I prayed about the situation, and the Lord said, get off your knees and take this job. I'm opening this door for you.
And one thing led to another, and you became our parish administrator.
Yes.
Going back to your military career, what can you say some of the biggest lessons are that you learned from your military experience that prepared you for this role as a public servant?
Okay. In the military, it taught me about being disciplined. about self-sacrifice, working as a team, and building a team, a type of environment to be able to achieve the common core, what the mission would be. And they taught me about leadership skills and management skills and organizational skills and planning skills, and all that helped prepare me for this particular job, as well as the technical aspect of what I was doing as well.
So you mentioned leadership skills and being able to have those planning skills. You've seen a lot over your time here at the parish as administrator.
Right.
This may be a hard question, but give us your most memorable moment working here as an employee at the parish of Caddo.
I would say my most memorable moment when sitting in the audience and Mr. Hanna announced his retirement, and Commissioner Joyce Bowman looked over her eyeglasses and pointed out towards the audience. And I looked around to see who was behind me, and she was pointing at me. And she said, "You're the next administrator." And I had no, idea what she was talking about at the time. But I'm grateful now that she had prophesied into my life that one day she saw in me the capability to be the administrator.
That's awesome, and we always say, to whom much is given, much is required.
That's correct.
Big shoes to fill and a huge responsibility as parish administrator.
Right.
We've done a lot of good work here. You've done a lot of good work here for the parish. What would you say one of the biggest accomplishments have been for you as parish administrator?
They are numerous, but if I had to focus in on only one, I would say when in December 2013, when the parish was awarded the AAA bond rating by Standard & Poor's, which is a Super Bowl of ratings. It put us in a very elite group of people, organizations, because there are about 3,063 counties across America, and only 36 counties have that designation as being AAA rated, and Caddo Parish was one of 36 in the nation, and the only one in the state of Louisiana that ever achieved that as a governmental body for a general obligation bond rating. And that put us, like the guys from Standard & Poor's told me, that was a Super Bowl of ratings that we actually won the Super Bowl.
So with all those accomplishments, challenges come as well.
Yes. What
would you say have been some of the challenges, or maybe your biggest challenge that you faced as parish administrator?
Yes. My biggest challenge as administrator is managing expectations. I can't make magic, and we don't print money. But I tell you, one of the earlier challenges came when we had to, in 2004, lay people off. I was not the administrator at the time, but I was the director of Facilities and Maintenance Department. And I had to sit across from employees and tell them that their jobs were being eliminated. And that was very heartbreaking for me, because these employees were with us a long time. And to no fault of their own, we had to reduce the workforce to meet budget requirements. And then subsequently, we had to fill those positions with the people who were left. So everybody had to roll up their sleeve and do a lot more work to replace the folks who were leaving, because we didn't get any replacements. Still the same amount of work and growing every day and every month, but less people. So I thought that was the most challenging and difficult moment we had emotionally, and in terms of the people, and the work still had to be done.
Right. So I'm sure you'll also agree that this job requires you to be the parish's #1 cheerleader,
Yes.
parish's #1 brand ambassador.
Yes.
So you get to tell folks all the time about a lot of the things that make Caddo Parish great.
That's correct.
What's your favorite thing about Caddo Parish?
Is the people. I often say that I have a dream team, because I could never dream of a scenario where all these people would come together at this point in time with all the unique skills and abilities that they have to be on one team.
Right.
I've been on a lot of teams through my Air Force career, different assignments, and some that were even in the private industry for a little while, but there's never been a team like what I have now working with me, trying to manage the day-to-day operation of the parish government. So I would say the best part of this parish, Caddo, is the employees and the people that are very well credentialed and educated, come to this organization day in and day out to do their very best for the people that we serve.
It's a great segue. I was going to ask you if you could say anything else to the employees of Caddo Parish. What would that be? What would you like to say to our employees?
I said to the employees, I would say I'm extremely proud to have been their leader, and they have done an excellent job, day in and day out, making the self-sacrifice to make sure that the mission gets done. And the mission simply is take care of the people. All the infrastructure that you see around you, the 900 miles of roads, the 23 buildings, the 178 bridges, and all the ditches and all the different things that they do that people can't do for themselves, they do on behalf of the people, and they have done a great job.
Excellent. And we also talk about when we work in these positions, leaving a place better than you found it, and we can obviously say that you have worked very hard to do that, Dr. Wilson.
Yes.
As you transition into this new chapter, how do you feel about the future of this organization? How do you feel about the future of Caddo Parish?
I think the parish still has a bright future because they have great people. And I think we have been, for the last 20-something years, on a journey from good to great. Because this is a little side note. In 1992, when I arrived here from Germany at the base, I looked at the evening news, and there was some little dysfunctionality going on within the news concerning the parish government. And I was saying to myself, well, those folks need some help. 9 years later, I would be at the helm of that organization. You know, who would imagine that?
Who would have thought?
Right. So I think I've brought some civility, excellent leadership to the forefront, a steady hand, in the sense of trying to bring out the best in people to deliver the best service we can for the people that we serve.
So as you transition out, the commission has chosen the next leader for the Parish of Caddo, Ms. Erica Bryant. If you had any sage words of wisdom or advice for the next administrator, for Ms. Bryant, what would that be?
Well, the first thing I would say is you got this. Because I've had the opportunity to be her supervisor for 17, going on 18 years. From day one, you can tell when you meet a jewel. And from day one, her first evaluation, I told her she would be a good administrator. That was 17 years ago. And I've said it for the last 17 years. Because Ms. Bryant has some unique characteristics. I always kind of tease her and say, you're wise beyond your years. And she is very intelligent. She understands the people dynamics, excellent leadership skills, know how to navigate the landscape, dealing with the political as well as the day-to-day function. That's why I go back to say, you got this. Because she actually really does. And within me, we always want to see our work advance, even when we are no longer at the helm of the work, right? So in Ms. Bryant, I think she'll be able to take the baton and run with it farther than I did, just like I did with my predecessor. So I'm happy, I'm excited, and as I transition, I'll be cheering and praying for her continual success, as well as the success of all of the employees of the Parish of Caddo, because I'm invested. I've given a certain part of my 22 years of my life to it, so I'm well invested beyond the retirement. So I want to see it continue to grow and thrive.
Great. We also know that one of the biggest roles at our parish, a big component of what we do here, are our citizens, the services we provide to them, the things that we do each and every day to help our citizens. Is there anything you want to say to the citizens of Caddo Parish?
Yeah. I would like to tell the citizens, thanks a million for all of the opportunity that they have given to me as the administrator of the Parish of Caddo. First of all, thank them for the opportunity to serve. I don't take this job lightly, that I've been given this unique opportunity and a lifetime opportunity to serve, to lead an organization, because it doesn't come every day. And I would say, on the most part, the citizens have supported this administration very well. They had successfully allowed us to continue collecting taxes to support all our internal operations, which is the lifeblood of parish government, and we couldn't do it without them. So I see that they are investing in government and it was our responsibility to give them an excellent return on their investment by making sure all the roads and infrastructure of this parish is kept maintained and also advanced. So to the people of the parish of Caddo, thanks a million for my heart and sincerity for allowing me to serve as the role as the parish administrator, and also for the numerous compliments I received when I was out in the community interacting with various citizens. They were telling me how pleased they were with the level of work that our organization is doing, and then also the steady hand that we had brought to government.
Well, Dr. Wilson, I think, of course, we can't end this interview. Inquiring minds, of course, are going to want to know what is next for Dr. Woody Wilson.
Okay. I think this sum up, Crystal, about 49 years of public service, but 25 years in the Air Force, 2 years at the Caddo Parish School Board as Director of Maintenance, and 22 years at the Parish of Caddo. I think I want to catch my breath a little bit and kind of toy with the idea to see what it's actually like to be retired. And my wife's been retired for 6 years, and she's been waiting on me to do some extensive travel. So we have a few trips lined up to visit my son who lives in Europe, who lives in London. So we're going to go there. We have another trip coming up, and then when I come back, I want to continue to be a part of the community, to help where I can, and then I wouldn't rule out the fact that I'll be involved in some activity whatsoever, maybe perhaps on a board or two. I currently serve on a board, so I will continue to give back where I can as I try to enjoy my grandkids and my kids and traveling.
Well, Dr. Wilson, you know there is always a place for you here at the Parish of Caddo. We are so thankful for your service, your dedication, your commitment to this organization and to the citizens of Caddo Parish. Thank you for all the support. In my role, you hired me, and so it's been so wonderful working with you and being mentored by you. And so I just want to thank you again for sitting down with us and taking that look back over your career and letting us know what's next. So thank you so much, Dr. Wilson, and we wish you the very best of luck. We hope that you take a vacation or two, kick back a little bit, but we're always welcome, ready to have you back whenever you're ready to come back and help the citizens of Caddo Parish.
My pleasure. And whatever the parish need me to do in the future to help out, certainly I'm going to make sure they know my phone number, so I'm going to give back where I can.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wilson.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you today in the pulse of the parish. And also to say to our citizens, thank you again for letting me serve as the parish administrator. Thanks for the wonderful support to our employees, excellent employees throughout the organization. And I sincerely appreciate their dedication and sense of excellence in what they do every day.
Thanks, Dr. Wilson.
Thank you.
Well, that's a wrap on this edition of Pulse of the Parish. As always, you can join us every first Friday of the month at noon for a new episode of What's New in Caddo Parish. Again, Dr. Wilson, thank you for your years of service to Caddo Parish, and we wish you the very best of luck.